We welcome you into Pioneer Arena for the third SAC matchup for these Carson-Newman Eagles. It's Carson-Newman Volleyball against the Tusculum Pioneers here on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon in Greenville. Rana DeCrow with you the whole way through. Man, these Tusculum Pioneers, not the season start they have been looking for so far. 3-6 on the year, 1-2 in the SAC, and coming off a 3-set sweep of Wingate, not of Wingate, but Wingate did sweep them on the road just last week. And for these Carson-Newman Eagles, very good start to the season, 10-0 up until Friday when they had their home opener. Lenore Ryan came into town and took the joy out of Holt Fieldhouse. Carson-Newman loses their first game of the year in a 3-set sweep to the Bears just less than a week ago. But now both of these teams get a chance to get back in the win column here in the SAC as we get ready to get set. We have your starters on the floor. First for the Carson-Newman Eagles, it's going to be Blair Cherry, the setter on the floor, Addie Smith, as well as Emerson Osmus. Those three have been staples of the starting lineup. Maddie Hurst as well will start in the middle position. Bella Cardello will be the other middle on the floor. And Rachel Ehlers, the grad student Coastal Carolina beach volleyball transfer, will be the other outside on the floor. Your libero tonight is Trinity Hafey, of course, number 12 in the white and orange. And as for the Pioneers, it's going to be Carly Russell in the libero position, Karis Aller, as well as Taylor Sanders. She'll be the libero on the floor tonight. Mia Nelson and Eliza Jewel Oliverius. Victoria Church will be the setter. Mary Catherine Hall, another libero, on the bench should the Pioneers need her, and Mackenzie Land will round out in that outside DS position. This Pioneers team incredibly young, 13-14 on the season last year, 11-7 in the SAC. They made it into the tournament. Tough draw in that first round, had to take on LR, and they were swept in that first round. But a ton of freshmen on this Pioneers team, 11 to be exact, super bottom heavy, 11 freshmen, 5 sophomores, and just 2 seniors on this roster. A lot of really promising young pieces, though, for these Pioneers. Just going to be a challenge to see how they put them together. Liberos check onto the floor. It's going to be Mary Catherine Hall in the back middle. In that front row for the Pioneers is Aller, as well as Mackenzie Land. And Victoria Church, the freshman setter. Land as well, a freshman in that front row. Aller, the sophomore. Mackenzie Land has really been the one who's been leading this Pioneers attack, 72 kills on the season. She's second on the team only to Brianna Pelbath, the junior middle, who is a scratch tonight. She hasn't played, actually, since their game against LMU a few weeks back. Such a tough injury, but was leading the team in kills up to that point as Ehlers gets the first serve away. And it's Church to set up Aller on the far side. A tough ball to the back row, but Ehlers has it dug out. Church poked it over the pin, and here's Osmus on the swing. That's dug out by Hall. Pioneers go back to work. It was Land on the far side. Now here's Osmus off the block, and the Pioneers can't get there in time as it pinballs around Mia Nelson and one other Pioneer, but it'll line drive into the floor, so Eagles get the first point. It's 1-0. Ehlers with her second serve away as Church a one ball for Aller, and it just kind of dribbles down the body of Hurst and Osmus, who are up for the block. A couple of subs come on for the Pioneers. Carly Russell will come off the floor. And it'll be Grace Van Sweden to step in for her. Here's Osmus on the near side. Roll shot, perfectly placed dead center, Hardwood. And it's 2-1. Emerson Osmus, one of the best outside hitters in the nation right now. 9th in the NCAA in kills per set as Hafey steps up to serve this one. Shank towards the netting, but the Pioneers regroup. Cherry goes cross court for Osmus on the near side. Another roll shot, but a Pioneer is there to grab it this time. Cherry a one ball for Cardello, dead center. Good connection by Cardello and Cherry. It's 3-1. Cardello was killless in her last match, but picks up one there early. Hafey gets her second away, and Nelson has to go to her right side to get that one. Now here's Osmus near side, hammers it down, but it's dug out by Hall. It's Van Sweden on the far side and perfectly places it right in the pocket between Hafey and Ehlers. They can't reach it in time. It's 3-2. Rich history between these two teams. Their 71st meeting all time. As Karis Aller on the serve. It's Ehlers to receive. She has it clean. Cherry dumps it over the net, a backhand. And the Pioneers will send the free ball, but no matter. Cherry is there with the two-handed set just beyond the 10-foot line on the near side. And all the Pioneers had rushed towards the net to try and save that free ball. That setter's dumped by Cherry. And it's 4-2. Cherry sends herself to the line. Clean reception by the Pioneers. Here's Van Sweden on the far side. It's slowed down by the block. And Osmus will take a whack at it. It hits the line judge in the foot in the far corner. And the Pioneers get the side out. Mia Nelson coming out. Jada Alvin, the junior outside, third on the team in kills. And here's Church to serve. Cherry on the far side for Osmus, right up the line. And Sanders can't dig it out in time. It's 5-2, a deafening blow there by Emerson Osmus. She's already got 3 kills. 5-3 the score, and Osmus will go to the line. Eagles working from right to left, the roll serve, and the Eagles are able to shove it right back over. It was Cardello down the middle. Heavy swing by Sanders. Excuse me, that was Van Sweden on the near side. Church a one-ball set for Oliverius. It won't fall. Osmus from the back row. It's dug out by Church and a free ball over. Cherry a back set for Smith, a cut shot into the front row. And here's Oliverius again on the off speed into the back row, right down Broadway. And it's 5-4. Carly Russell comes in to serve. She'll take out Van Sweden. It goes near side for Hafey, who has to lunge to get it. Here's Smith, a heavy blow. Far side, it lands. It's 6-4 in the Eagles. One thing that Kat Collins told me post-game on Friday was that Tusculum better be ready. They've come out swinging here today, but the Pioneers done a really good job of keeping this one close. It's Madison Walmont, the transfer from Dodge City, to serve, and on the near side for Jada Alvin, it comes off the arms of Cherry and ricochets all the way into the stands where the waiting crowd in all black, a blackout game here at Pioneer Arena tonight, is waiting. Sanders with the serve, and Cherry, a high ball for Maddie Hirsch. She puts it just outside that far line. So another serve for Sanders coming. Sanders, one of the few seniors on this team. A service ace. Oh, actually, they're going to call that ball in. So Maddie Hurst gets a kill, and Addie Smith gets to go to the line. Smith a floater serve, and Land has to go to her right to get it. As Karis Aller nearly had that near side corner picked out. But the Eagles wisely let that fall just into the line judge's bread basket. It's 8-5. High arcing serve from Smith. That'll float and knuckle way out of play. It's 8-6 here from Pioneer Arena as we get a couple subs on. It's going to be Claire Bolton for Addie Smith in the back row. And Jada Alvin will come out for Mia Nelson. Nelson right to the line to serve. The freshman, a 3-time All-Region selection in high school. 7 digs, her high against Wingate. Sends that one long, so it's 9-6 on another service error. This Tusculum team really has struggled in the serving department. Quite a few serving errors in that Wingate game that kept them out of sets. Dizikowski, a hard-knuckling serve, but Russell has it. It was Land on the far side who tried to take a swing at one, and it misses near side, so it's 10-6. Dizikowski, her second, this time received cleanly by Nelson. Church a back set for Aller, and it's pressed right back over by the block of Emerson Osmus and Maddie Hurst. That Carson-Newman block largely ineffective in the game against Lenore Ryan. Just 14 blocks, their lowest count of the season. But now Tusculum will take a timeout following that stuff. And Coach Hannah Barrett in her first season will have a conversation with her team. Super big team for Coach Barrett as she steps in. She got hired back in March. 27 ladies on this roster. Trying to figure out how to put all the pieces together. Obviously losing Brianna Peldath was a huge blow to this attack. She was 13th in the SAC in blocks per set too, so losing a large portion of your blocks, your team leader in kills per set, and 4th in the SAC in hitting percentage, so also being incredibly accurate. Got to rely on the younger members of this team like Aller, like Van Sweden, like Oliverius to step up in these big-time positions and land a couple balls in play. Timeout expires for the Pioneers. It's 6-11 here in set number 1. Eagles coming off a stuff of Kara Soller. Dizikowski, her third serve from the line, and McKenna Hall manages back row. Cherry for Osmus on the emergency ball. A roll shot into the middle of the court, and nobody's there. Make that 12-6. Dizikowski, a service ace as the Pioneers watch that one land a centimeter inside the far line. Annie Dizikowski has been phenomenal from the service line this season. 3rd in the SAC in service aces per set. She's got one here early in set 1. 13-6 as she floats that one outside the near side corner on the Pioneer side of the floor. And it's 13-7. Carly Russell comes off the floor. And Van Sweden will come into that front row. Here's Mackenzie Land, the freshman, to serve. As Van Sweden tried to just smack it back over off the reception. Osmus, a great roll shot, touches the back line. And it's 14-7, Emerson Osmus with 5 kills. The only Eagle in the last game that was in double digits in the kill department. 14 kills, and she's had 14 kills in her last 6 games. Here's Hafey, a knuckling serve, but it's received cleanly by the Pioneers, and Van Sweden gets to take a whack, tools the block, and the Pioneers a good side out there. Van Sweden has only played in the last 4 games. It's her 5th in a row. Didn't play in those games to begin the season. But with the departure of Pelvath, has had to step into a huge position as Cardello pokes it over, and it's stuffed by Van Sweden. And Oliverius. Van Sweden's first block of the season. Oliverius is 10th. This Tusculum team, one thing they do pretty well is block the ball, averaging 1.87 blocks per set. That's 8th in the sack. As Van Sweden's a little tight to the pin off the set from Victoria Church. And she won't get to it. It just falls into the netting and into the hardwood. So it's 15-9 here in set 1. And Blair Cherry back to serve. Good rolling serve as Oliverius didn't jump too high off that one, just got about 10 inches in the air, tried to put it towards the back line, and it sails it. So it's 16-9 now. Nelson handles that back row, and here's Van Sweden, two-handed reception from Cherry. Osmus on the roll, but Hull is there on the dig as Oliverius sends another one sailing past the back line. It's 17-9 here in set 1. Another timeout for the Pioneers as Coach Barrett will have another conversation with her team. This Eagles squad has come out clicking on all cylinders. 5 kills for Osmus already. Cherry has 4 digs and 7 assists. Trying to have a productive and efficient set 1 after a real shame of a match on Friday when they dropped in 3 sets to Lenore Ryan, one of their lowest statistical performances of the season. Just 35 kills as a team, a season high 9 service errors for the Eagles, and their second worst hitting percentage of the season, hitting 191. Still not too bad. As I mentioned, Osmus, 14 kills, 3 blocks to go along with it, and her 9th double-digit kill performance of the year. Big bounce-back game for either side. Tusculum obviously coming off their toughest competition of the season. Had to face number 20 Wingate just last week. They got beaten 3 sets, and Pioneers' only win in the SAC right now is against Emory and Henry, who ENH took them to 5 sets. A really toughly fought contest. 17-9, Cherry gets back up with the right hand. She puts it far side of the court. It's Nelson to receive. And Van Sweden a little off balance. Puts it into the top of the tape. It rolls down on the Pioneer side of the floor. It's 18-9. Pioneers in their black jerseys with the white lettering and orange accents as Osmus shoves it back down. It's 19-9. Make that 6 kills for Emerson Osmus in set 1. Cherry, a floater serve. It's dug out by Hall. Far side for Van Sweden off the block. And nobody touched it on the Eagles side. Yes, they did. It was the block of Cardello and Smith. They were trying to make their case to the referee that didn't hit the blocker's arms. It hit the net. Regardless, it'll be Church to serve. She goes down Broadway for Hayfie. It's Cardello on the 1 ball, slams it into the block. This time to the near side for Smith. It's turned away again. Oliverius using all 6'1" of her height and those long arms to throw off that Carson-Newman attack on the near side. Serve way too long by Church, so it's 20-11. Eagles win the race to the second decade. Ehlers will come off the floor and Dzikowski into that front row. Here's Osmus, a tough rolling serve, but Alvin has it clean. It's Van Sweden on the near side. Cherry a back set. Here's Smith, a cross-court shot, and it ricochets out of play, 21-11. And Addie Smith with her second kill. Really good cross-court shot from Smith, was coming right towards the scorer's table, toward that Tusculum bench. Osmus rolls one just off the tape. It leaks over to the Pioneer side. Oliverius on the one ball. It's turned away. Van Sweden is forced to send the free ball. Cherry, a two-set for Dzikowski, who came down center. She lands her shot. It's 22-11, and these Eagles rolling. Did not want to be turned away a second game in a row. Cutting serve targets Alvin in the back row. She has it again as she comes down on one. It's dug out in the back row by Osmus. Dzikowski slowed up by Van Sweden. Church a good set with one hand to Oliverius, who pokes it over. Osmus back row. Church gets some arms on it, but it falls towards the Tusculum bench, and no one can get there in time. It's 23-11, Eagles within two. Dzikowski, her second kill in a row. Lainey Craig will come on the floor. In just her second game played of the season. Short serve for Osmus off the arms of Oliverius. Right into no man's land. And Osmus, her sixth service ace of the year. Oliverius will come off the floor. Osmus, another tough serve. Alvin manages back row. Hammering shot down the line. My goodness, that had some heat on it. Jada Alvin, the transfer from West Alabama, where she had 428 kills over her first two seasons, has been a welcome addition to this Tusculum front row, the heavy arm. Cherry, a one ball for Cardello. It's in play. And Carson-Newman wins set number one, 25-12. Emerson Osmus, 7 kills, but 3 other Eagles getting involved with 2 apiece. And they take set number one. We'll be right back here on the Eagles Sports Network for all the action from set number 2. Getting ready to get back underway here in set number 2. Eagles win set 1, 25-12. It's Church on the first serve as Cherry goes down the center for Dzikowski. Hammers it down. It's 1-0 as Dzikowski gets going early. Sends herself to the line. Already a service ace in this contest as she puts a tough one into the back row. Mackenzie land a clean reception, and Van Sweden, a well-placed roll shot into the center of the floor, threw off the Carson-Newman defense. So make it 1-1. Eagles doing everything right there in set number 1. As here's Carly Russell to serve. It's Hurst on the slide play. She goes back row for Russell as Oliverius comes down on one. And Tusculum has their first lead of the contest. Carly Russell again on the serve. It's Cherry for a shot to Osmus. A weird roll shot. Didn't mean to do that. It works nonetheless. It's 2-2. So that'll send Hayfie to the line. The libero 7th in the sack in digs per set as Church sets up. Land on the far side. Oliverius pokes it over, and Bolton has the two-handed reception. Osmus back row just beyond that back line. A heavy swing with the left hand. Lands just out of play. It's 3-2. Tusculum with the lead here in set 2. Eagles holding Tusculum right now to an .095 hitting percentage. Carson-Newman finding the floor often. 3-7-5. They're hitting on the match. So it's Sanders to serve as Cherry goes down the middle for Osmus. Domination and a net violation from Mackenzie Land in the front row. Immediate point for the Eagles. It's 3-3. Cherry will serve this one. It's a diving ball, and Russell has to lunge to get to it. Alvin sends a really tough free ball, and Smith goes cross court with the bump set for Osmus, who sends another tricky free ball over. Really tough shot from the Eagles. Ehlers dives, Hayfie dives, but no one can get there in time. That ball barely coming 3 feet off the floor, and it's 4-3. Tusculum still with the lead. A well-placed touch from Karis Aller, the 6'1" sophomore there in that front row. Nelson to serve. Hayfie receives well and clean. Osmus turned away by the block, and Ehlers will be forced to send the free ball. Church to the near side, and it's Land with the big swing. Kind of missed it just a little bit as Osmus picks her spot back row. Looks at her teammates like no big deal. It's 4-4. Osmus already with 9 kills, and it's early in set 2. Dzikowski will come onto the floor for Rachel Ehlers. And Osmus gets a serve away. Aller on the slide play, doesn't land this time. Cherry a 1-ball to Cardello down the middle as she goes back set this time to Smith down the line. That doesn't land. It's dug out by Hall, but the block responding to the heavy swing by Mackenzie Land. It falls oppo side on the Pioneer side of the floor. Make it 5-4, and the Eagles regain the lead. Osmus another diving serve. It's near side for Land. She lands this time. Sends herself to serve. The freshman's been doing it on both sides of the ball. Matches her kill total and digs is Smith tools the block. High IQ not to go heavy into it and makes it 6-5. It rolls down the body of Van Sweden and Aller in that front row. Kara Brantley steps in to serve. Haven't seen her in a couple games as Church goes one ball for Aller, but Brantley has it dug out. Osmus, a heavy swing from beyond the 10-foot line. And a wonky reception back row will send it flying into the Tusculum fans. It's 7-5. Eagles with the lead in set 2. Brantley a spinny serve. That's going to land outside the far line. And it's 7-6. Just tried to play a cut serve into that far side of the floor. About a foot outside that far line. So Aller with her second chance at serving. Hafey shuffles to the near side to get it, and Smith will get another chance. Two-handed touch in the back row by Mackenzie Land. And another Eagles point there. It's 8-6. And Smith getting going here in set number 2. It's Smith now with the serve as Church tight to the net for Van Sweden. It is off the hand of Maddie Hurst, but falls into the backcourt of the Eagles. The freshman setter to serve. It's Church. Hurst down the middle, hard press. It's in play. And you obviously can't cup the ball in volleyball. But Maddie Hurst is about as close as you can get to that. She just takes a full palm and pushes it just beyond that 10-foot line. Dizikowski on the serve as Church goes down the center for Alvin, who pokes it over. Cherry able to dump it over with one hand. Now here's Van Sweden on the roll shot. Osmus far side. It ricochets off the hands of Land, and the Pioneers another free ball over. Good pass by Bolton to Cherry as Hurst is met by the block. Hurst pokes it back over. Pioneers send the free ball. Dizikowski dives back row. Osmus hammers it home, and the Eagles have the rally. It's 10-7. So Dizikowski steps up again. Knuckleball serve back row. It's kind of shanked by Alvin, but recovered by Hall. Dizikowski gets an arm on it. Hurst has to dive to save it, and Osmus sends the roll shot. Great scramble from the Eagles. Cherry this time to Hurst down the center. She picks her spot, hits it perfect. It's 11-7. Alvin to her left side this time as Church puts it into the net, and Oliverius just passes it over. Hurst tried to be quick with it, and it lands outside the far line. Good thinking by the sophomore. Just an awkward angle, a little off balance for her. 11-8 Eagles with the lead right now. They're up a set here in set 2. Here's Hurst this time. She doesn't miss. A heavy angle. And it's 12-8 as Hurst will check off the floor for Hafey, and Cardello will come into that front row. Spinny serve that targets Hall. She moves to her right side. and land an off-speed shot into the arms of Cardello and Cherry. Empty hardwood right in the middle in front of the net for the Eagles, and that's exactly where the ball lands. Makes it 12-9. Everybody was ready for the cover. So now it's Sanders on the serve. That one floats long. A good watch there by Claire Bolton, and Tusculum will use another timeout. We'll take a quick break here on the Eagles Sports Network, but all the action from set 2 when we return. Timeout expires for the Pioneers. It's 13-9 here in set number 2. Eagles lead by a set, and it'll be Blair Cherry to the line to serve as Addie Smith checks in for Claire Bolton into that front row. Eagles doing a great job so far, have not missed very often, hitting 400 on the evening as Cherry, a really hard knuckling serve. Hafey tries to get the two-handed reception off Alvin on the far side, and it rolls into the back bleachers. So 13-10. As Alvin will come right back off the floor after that contribution. So here's Mia Nelson. Cherry a one ball for Cardello, who presses it over with 5 fingers, but it's out of play on the far side. Nelson another serve, this one line drive out of play. So 14-11 is the Pioneers now with a couple service errors, on the evening that have killed their flow just in 2 sets. It's Osmus to serve. She targets Nelson back row, who has it clean. And Land can take a big swing at it from the near side. Now here's Smith near side. She's turned away by that block, and Smith can't get into position off the net to dig that one out. It's 14-12. The Pioneers, a couple really good swings, mostly coming from Mackenzie Land. 3 kills on the evening so far. As Dizikowski far side goes up the line, but Nelson a great dig in the back row. Here's Van Sweden, more of the same, but Hafey has it this time. Osmus back row, beyond the 10-foot line. It ricochets into the rafters, and Church sends the long free ball from beyond the back line. Cherry the setter's dump. Nelson has the diving dig. Van Sweden sends it over, and the Eagles regroup. It's Dizikowski. Back row Land has it dug out. And finally, Cardello, her height beats Victoria Church. Cardello nearly 6 inches on the freshman setter, and she shoves it over, makes it 15-12. That'll bring in Kara Brantley. Back to the line to serve. Conversations happening on the Tusculum side of the floor with the referees, and Brantley will finally get her chance to serve. A tough one, and Hall has to dive to save it. Van Sweden, cross-court shot off the arms of Brantley into the Tusculum fans. And it's 15-13. That brings Karis Aller back to the line, puts that one in the net, so make it 5 errors for the Pioneers. 16-13. Eagles up by 3 here in set 2. Addie Smith, the server now. Mackenzie Lynn has to lunge to her right side to get that one as Cherry, a cross-court set for Dizikowski, tools the block. And Annie Dizikowski was in the hunt for 100 season kills here tonight. She has 3 right now, needs 3 more to get to that triple-digit mark. Is Addie Smith has the service ace off the arms of Mia Nelson in the back row. As that ricochets towards the scorer's table, makes it 18-13. Carson-Newman on the 3-point scoring run right now. Smith, another good serve into the back row. Land has it this time. Oliverius slowed down by the block, and Hurst will get a chance down the center. Wide open Hardwood in the near side of the floor. And Maddie Hurst lands her shot. It's 19-13. And Tusculum will need another timeout here. Head coach Hannah Barrett in her first season with the Pioneers, a graduate of Cal State Bernardino back in 2019, but plenty of experience to go along with such a young career. Spent multiple years with multiple Division I programs. Most recently with South Alabama, spent 2 years there. A couple years with Texas Tech as well as Gonzaga. So a couple really high-level programs that Coach Barrett has got to see and help coach, as well as a fellow Division I school in Cal State Bernardino. But she comes over to Tusculum here in her first season, is looking to make an impact. Obviously, maybe could do a little bit of recruiting there in March. Not sure how many recruits you already have picked up, but this is a heavy, heavy roster for the first-year head coach. 27 players and 11 newcomers in the freshmen. Couple newcomers in the transfer department as well. You have Carly Russell, a transfer from Cleveland County Community College, in North Carolina. McKenna Crawford, a transfer from McKendree. Jada Alvin, the transfer from West Alabama. So many new pieces, just trying to figure out where they fit. Couple of big-time scratches, though, for this Tusculum team as Smith gets the serve underway out of the timeout, and Church will set up Van Sweden far side, back row, nobody home. It's 19-14 as Tusculum pulls back within 5. Allison McLarty, the team leader in kills last season, a scratch tonight. TU's Freshman of the Year last season. And Brianna Pelbath, 73 kills on the year up until she has not been available to play. 24 blocks as well. That's that team leading block count as Hafey off the serve lets the reception go right back over, and Jada Alvin takes advantage. It's 19-15. Alvin with 4 kills now. The freshman setter Church, 6 in the sack and assist per set as Hurst presses it back row with 5 fingers, near side corner. A well-placed shot, high IQ, makes it 20-15. Just her ability to see the floor and pick her spots. Hurst has 6 kills tonight as Dizikowski will get a chance to serve again. Mackenzie Land manages back row. Alvin, another heavy swing up the line with the left hand. And the undersized hitter, man, she gets so high in the air, probably jumped 5 feet off the ground there on that near pin. So give her 6 skills. Cherry, a cross-court set for Osmus, who is waiting on the far side. Leaves no doubt about that one. It's 21-16. And Osmus has her 13th of the evening. Here's Hafey on the serve. A tough one to the left of Land. As Alvin tries to go cross-court, she's a little bit too long on that one. 22-16. Alvin hitting the best on the team right now. Before that one was hitting 625, now 400. Hafey, a knuckling serve into the back row, and Hall has it. Here's Land. A decimating swing. Makes it 22-17. Center connection with that ball. Dizikowski corrals it in the back row, and here's Cardello on the slide. She'll push it over with a hand off the free ball from the Pioneers. Alvin met by the block. It falls to the floor, and Osmus and Cardello combine for that one. It makes it 23-17. Smith will come on into that front row for Claire Bolton. And Cherry sent to the line. Blair Cherry, 9th all-time in assists per set in a single season, 6th all-time in total assists at Carson-Newman. As Land is turned away by Cardello, and Smith a big-time rejection from the sophomore and junior. And Addie Smith has been an asset on that block. Blocks in 4 straight games before that LR game on Friday. Cherry into the tape off the error. It's 24-18. Couple of subs on for the Pioneers. It'll be Nelson into the back row, as well as Maggie Kane, who's checking in for the first time. Didn't play in that Wingate game. And Nelson will serve. Dizikowski shanks it towards Cherry, who gets 2 fingertips on it, but can't put it in the air. So it's 24-19. As the Eagles set up in an L formation, 90-degree angle. Osmus this time, clean reception, and here's Smith on the far side, way long. Makes it 24-20. Nelson, a high arcing serve. Dizikowski has it clean, and here's Smith, who gets the off-speed touch on it. It pinballs between Nelson and Kane, and Carson-Newman wins set number 2, 25-20. Incredibly efficient for the Eagles, 3:59 through the 2 sets, and they currently are 1 away from getting back in the win column following their loss to Lenore-Ryan. We'll be back with the action from set number 3 when we come back. Back here in set number 3. And the Pioneers out of rotation right off the jump. So it's 1-0. Eagles with the early lead. They're up by 2 sets. Coach Hannah Barrett having pretty intense conversation with her team over on her bench during this set break, saying, how bad do you want this? Because we got to work hard if we want to get ourselves back into this. Cherry sends the service error into the netting. So make it 1-1. And that'll put Maggie Kane up to the line. 5 service aces to 5 errors this season, but Ehlers has this one clean, and Osmus gets to unload. Cardello and Smith get a paw on it to poke it up into the air, but Osmus was getting ready to dive for what she thought was going to be a ball to the floor. And it's 2-1, Pioneers with the early lead. It's Maggie Kane on the serve again, and here's Osmus far side on the roll shot. It's turned away, and the Eagles get another crack. Ehlers from the back row sends it way long, and it's 3-1. This series has not been one of sweeps. It's been close for either side. The Pioneers and Eagles have gone to 5 sets in 7 of the last 20 matches, and 15 of the last 20 have not been sweeps. Bianchin sends one over, and it's Smith up the line, as Cardello presses one over off the free ball from the Pioneers. It's 2-3. Both of these teams trying to improve their standing in the sack as Alvin takes a heavy swing into the arms of the block. Rejection from the Eagles. And they have 4 blocks on the night. Bella Cardello, her 3rd here this evening. Tie game at 3 here as Osmus on the rolling serve. It's Church to the far pin, and Land gets to unload. Cherry a back set for Smith. Roll shot, and Alvin has a dugout. Church the far pin again for Land. This time a back set for Alvin, who's a little off balance, and Osmus has to dive to her right to get it. Dizikowski sends the roll into the center of the floor. Alvin pokes it over. Cherry, a back set for Smith. Heavy swing up the line. Great dig by Hall. Alvin on the free ball. And Cardello on the 1 ball. Back row near corner. It's 4-3. Cardello has had a challenging time in her accuracy this year. Hitting 147 on the year for a middle. As Alvin takes a heavy swing into Dizikowski's arm, she's turned away. It's 5-3. But she's got going here tonight. Cardello with 4 kills. And another block for the Eagles. Osmus trying for the floater serve, but it'll roll into the top of the tape. And it's 5-4. Coach Barrett will have a few words with Alvin after that heavy swing. As Sanders gets the service ace as Hayfie was diving to grab it. Got her first 2 knuckles on it, but it drives into the hardwood. So here's Sanders again. Dizikowski, clean reception on the near side as Smith is met by the block. Dizikowski sets up Smith, and Aller is there to block it away and get it back up. Cardello and Smith. Another big-time rejection on the far side as Land, all she could do was watch that one fall to the hardwood. That's 3 blocks here in the first 10 points of this third set for the Eagles. Cardello now with 5 blocks on the contest. This is her 6th game this season where she's had 5 or more blocks. Brantley comes in to serve and sends that one to the middle of the net. So make it 6-6. Cardello will come right back onto the floor. Heafy also coming in. Rung up at 6s here in set 3 as Nelson on the serve. Cherry to the near pin for Dzikowski up the line. Nelson digs it out. One ball set for Aller, who pokes it back row. Cherry with the two-handed reception. Dzikowski on the roll. Kane has it handled. And Jordan Roderick, who just stepped in, takes a swing into the net. Addie Smith to the line now. Floater serve. Nelson with a good pass there. Aller off her right foot as Cherry goes for Osmus back row. On the roll. It's in play. Just a centimeter in that back line. Makes it 8-6. Osmus with 14 kills. So make that 8 games in a row where the sophomore has landed 14 or more kills. 9th in the NCAA in kills per set. She's just been nothing but dominant this season. Church to the far pin, and Roderick, a very good shot over the block of the Eagles that was set up. Haven't seen much off speed from the Pioneers, but a net violation makes it 9-6, and Coach Barrett will take a timeout. It's been a challenge for these Pioneers this year. 11th in the conference in kills per set, just averaging about 10.3. And they had a tall task ahead of them, this Carson-Newman team. 13.5 kills per set, second in the SAC, 33rd in the nation. Regardless, been doing the best with what they have. You have a young roster, you got to get on the same page. $11 freshmen, a couple transfers, and a first-year head coach. A lot of young talent on this team. You look at players like Van Sweden and Oliverius, who are just freshmen, as well as Victoria Church. 6th in the SAC in assists per set. And let's keep in mind, this Tusculum team, they lost just about everyone last season. They lost their starting setter, their starting libero. Allison McLarty is out right now this season. She was their best hitter. 256 kills off the floor right now. Michaela Willie as well, averaging 2.46 kills per set. She just graduated. Madison Adkins, the graduating setter. So a lot of missing pieces, but kind of fun in your first season to kind of figure out how you want this program to look. You really get to dictate the culture. 9-6 as we're back underway out of the timeout. Nelson moves to her right side. A good reception there as Adriana Lee, who just stepped in, the 6-foot freshman out of Pride, Louisiana, checks in and gets a kill right off the jump. A lot of subs for the Pioneers coming on the floor. As Lee, who's 6 on the team in kills, gets one there as soon as she checks in. Hasn't played a set yet. Cherry, the setter's dump with one hand. Church to the far pin for Van Sweden, and that falls way long to the back line. Too much mustard on that one. 10-7. Eagles lead here in set 3. They're up by 2 sets if you're just joining us. Brianna DeCrow with you the whole way through as Annie Dzikowski. Line drive of a serve, and Van Sweden is stopped by the block. So here's Osmus on the roll. Nobody home on the cover. 11-7, and Osmus has 15. Making it look easy in that front row. Dzikowski, another penetrating serve. Here's Church on the back set to Lee, and she lands again. The freshman checking in has brought a spark of energy to this Pioneer squad. Eight to 11 in set 3. And that'll bring number 3, Carly Russell. The sophomore to the line is Hafey with a tough reception there, but gets it back over. Osmus, another off-speed roll shot that nearly lands. Back row, it's Land, picks her spot, center hardwood. 11-9. Pioneers trail by 2 here. Looking for their second win in conference play. Eagles also looking for their second win, as Russell outside the far line on her serve. Another serving error there for the Pioneers. And that'll send Trinity Hafey to the line. Sophomore's been so good, or the junior, excuse me. Van Sweden. That one's dug up by Ehlers, and Osmus was waiting for Hafey to run over and get it. She had to fully extend with one fist, but couldn't get the ball up. Makes it 12-10. That'll send the freshman Church to the line. She leads this team in service aces. Knuckling serve to Osmus on the near side, who gets set up on the near pin, and off the block is good. 13-10 as Osmus lands her 16th. Cherry on the floater serve. Church to the far pin. It's Alvin on the touch shot. Cherry gets the pancake, and here's Osmus on the emergency ball. The roll shot into the middle of the court, and the Eagles, a phenomenal scramble. They get on the right side of that one. It's 14-10. Tough reception to the left side by Alvin, but Hall gets it to Church for the free ball. Ehlers has to dive in from the back row, and Osmus puts it away off the set from Cherry. Makes it 15-10, and Tusculum will take one more timeout here in this third set. Take another quick break here on the Eagles Sports Network. When we come back, see if the Eagles can close out set number 3. Stick around. Getting ready to go out of the timeout here. Coach Barrett getting her team fired up, telling them to celebrate everything. The Eagles are back on the floor and ready to go. It's 15-10 here in set number 3. Cherry sends an error into the far side of the court, and it's 15-11. A good timeout there, successful in icing out Blair Cherry. Maggie Kane steps up to the line and went ahead and matched that service error from Cherry. So now it's Osmus to serve. Tricky one to Hall, who puts it over for Land, and now it's going to be Kane to send the free ball. One ball for Cardello, as Bianchin will just poke it back over. Cardello, another slap. Land heavy into the block and out of play. And a net violation from Addie Smith makes it 16-12. Sanders, the senior libero, is the one to serve. She's also tied for this team's lead in service aces and gets one there. Tizikowski towards the near pin. No eagle to chase. Aker will check in for Smith. She's been seeing some time on the floor trying to come in and show a little spark to this Eagles front row. 16-13 as Sanders steps up again. Tizikowski clean this time. To the near pin for herself. Off the assist from Cherry. Here's Land. A heavy swing, back row, way too long. Makes it 17-13. Cardello will come off the floor for Brantley in to serve. Hurst now in that front row as well. Church a back set for Alvin, who pokes it over the block, but Cherry is there. And Brantley, a bad pass, a little bit too long of that far pin, so Akerd couldn't even get a touch on it. Makes it 17-14. Mia Nelson back in to serve. Cherry on the back set for Akerd. Soft shot into the back row. Maggie Kane digs it out, and Land goes off the hands of Akerd and Hurst. Cherry to Dizikowski on the near pin. It's off the block and out. Makes it 18-15, and Dizikowski with her fourth kill, creeping closer to that 100-kill mark. As Claire Bolton will come in to serve. Tusculum doing a good job here in this third set to keep up. But the Eagles holding them to a low hitting percentages. Land hammers that one up the line. A full explosion from the freshman makes it 18-16. As Maggie Kane will come off the floor and Van Sweden back in. Land with 8 kills here this evening as Osmus moves to her right side, and Bolton has to dive. Emergency ball from Dizikowski, and it seems like the Eagles just a little miscommunication in the center of the floor as to who is going to get that ball in the air for someone to take a swing at. Now here's Dizikowski, near side, up the line, back corner, it's good. 19-17. Dizikowski one away from 100 kills as she steps up to the service line. Service ace for the sophomore already here this evening. She's this team's leader with 19 on the year. Van Sweden off the block. Bolton shanks it towards the curtain here at Pioneer Arena and makes it 19-18. Pioneers clawing and fighting to stay in this set as Ehlers will come in for Dzikowski. And it's Lee coming back onto the floor to serve. Hurst on the slide play, turned away by Van Sweden and by Anshin. Ties us at 19. Here's Lee again. Floats that one long of the line, and the Eagles win the race to 20. Untimely error there by the freshman, but a good job nonetheless from the service line in that front row too. The junior captain in Hafey to serve as Nelson moves to her left side, and it's Van Sweden on the left side, stuffed by Cherry and Cardello, who respond right back with a block of their own. Cardello with 6 blocks on the evening. 21-19, Eagles within 4 of taking this match. Nelson has it clean as Church with the setter's dump. Eagles thought they got a pancake underneath it, but it instead hits the floor, so Church gets her 8th kill of the season. Really good hands from the freshman. (21-20) as Church sends herself to the line. Ehlers lunging to her right side to get that one as Osmus on the tricky cut roll makes it 22-20. Was faced towards the Tusculum fans, but instead hit that ball back towards the scorer's table. Good awareness from Osmus, who has 18 kills. Make that 19 with that one is Cherry on the ace there, makes it 23-20. Blair Cherry with 2 aces. Clean reception this time from the Pioneers. It's Van Sweden on the near side. Free ball by the Eagles, and Alvin pokes it right back over with 2 hands for another kill. 6 kills for the junior transfer. Makes it 23-21. Brings Maggie Kane back up to the line. A service error the last time she was on the strike. Afy clean reception. Cherry a 1 ball for Cardello, who pushes it over. This is Land turned away. Church gets a back set to Alvin on the soft touch. Osmus gets a hand on it. Free ball by the Eagles. Land on the far side. Heavy swing off the touch of the Eagles, but instead they'll say nobody touched it. Makes it 24-21, Eagles within 1. Just see the height difference in that front row. As Osmus targets Hall. Alvin takes a cross-court shot, and it lands just beyond that 10-foot line. Makes it 24-22. Taylor Sanders, who has 2 aces on the night. Knuckling serve, and Ehlers shanks it into the pin. Make that 3 for the senior. She leads this team in service aces with 13. A service ace in every game but 3 this season. 24-23 as Sanders steps up again. Hafey manages back row, and it's Ehlers on the near side. Ends it with 1 swing. Ehlers' first swing of the contest, and she makes it happen. 25-23 here in the final set, and Carson-Newman gets back in the win column. Makes it an 11 3-1 season, and they're 2-1 in the SAC. The Pioneers move to 3-7 and 1-3 in SAC play. This Pioneers team projected 7th in the SAC preseason poll. They were sitting at that mark right before this game. Only undefeated teams left in the conference in terms of conference play: Wingate, LR, Mars Hill, and Coker. Carson-Newman now with 2 SAC wins to their name. They match LMU, who would have played tonight. Check in on the score of that game. But regardless, a really good bounce-back win for the Eagles. They fell flat against the Bears, but come back and show a really good fight against this Tusculum team. We're really clicking on all cylinders. LMU did lose today, 3-1 to Mars Hill, so Carson-Newman will be in solo possession of 4th place, depending on what Coker did. But we thank you so much for joining us here on the Eagles Sports Network. I'm Rihanna DeCrow, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for joining us.